It's the sheer confidence with which Oliver Dowden lies, the calmness with which he steps on all the Tories' previous promises, and the utter remorselessness with which they admit the damage that breaking those promises is doing. For example, on the housing crisis,
under this party, that we have record levels of housing being built.
The Home Builders Federation says house building in England set to fall to the slowest rate since World War II this year.
Inflation and waiting lists coming down.
No, our inflation has been stuck at 8.7% for the last 2 months, and the OECD even said that our inflation is going up, unlike every other top G7 economy. And no, NHS waiting lists are at a record 7.4 million people, the highest since we started counting.
Growth forecasts up.
Yeah, up from worst growth in the G7 to second worst growth in the G7. Do give yourself a cookie. And here's some good old-fashioned right-wing xenophobia around refugees.
Many concerns, both on the barge and what the 506 young men will do going around a seaside resort at the height of the summer, unmonitored and with little money.
That we need to reduce the bill of housing asylum seekers in hotels.
The average time it takes for an asylum application to be processed in either Germany or France is between 5 and 10 months, allowing them to either be removed from the country or start working there. In the UK, it's almost 2 years, so it's the government's fault that these people have no way of making money for that long. And the government's beating crime plan shows they know the link between poverty, a lack of opportunity, and turning to crime. And yet here they are trying to scare people about asylum seekers because of a situation they created. This is right-wing politics 101. Then there's their favourite attack on Labour.
That they also spend every last penny in the Treasury. And I well remember when we entered government, the note saying there was no money left.
That attack doesn't really work anymore when the guy that they put in charge of the Treasury said that Brexit would make our public finances disappear. And oh look, that's what happened. Now as for the promises they've made, the Get Brexit Done manifesto that they were elected on said that there would be no more negotiations with the EU.
That as the UK-EU negotiations with regard to the border between Gibraltar and Spain continue.
And there's more.
Since we agreed the Windsor Framework, we've had very constructive discussions on Horizon, but the difference between my party and his is that we won't accept a deal at any price. We will wait until we get the best deal for the British people.
Within 6 months of you signing the Brexit deal, you had Boris Johnson saying that it was unfair. And let's not forget that the Brexit deal that you signed has cost this country £100 billion a year. It's also a major part of the reason that the DUP is refusing to form a government in Northern Ireland, which is leading to
the absence of a Northern Ireland executive is exacerbating the severe challenges that the healthcare service in Northern Ireland is already facing.
Just casually admitting that their Brexit is damaging the health services in Northern Ireland during a health crisis. I feel like the Deputy Prime Minister admitting that the government's main policy is getting people killed should be something the news talks about, but I'm sure they've got more important things to discuss.